Transitioning into gray hair is a big step that many people dread. This is largely due to societal stigma about what's deemed beautiful and youthful. However, it's part of the natural aging process. And there is no reason to feel ashamed of your silver hues. Whether you're experiencing the arrival of your first grays, or you color your hair to hide them, there are plenty of benefits to rocking your natural color. Applying dye lifts the hair's protective proteins, so the chemicals can enter the strand and change its color. This process weakens the hair, which can cause brittleness, dryness, and thinning. Therefore, skipping the dye will result in much healthier hair. An itchy scalp is often caused by a chemical in dye called paraphenylenediamine, a known irritant and allergen. But if you stop the dyeing process, you won't have this problem. By letting your natural grays shine through, you can save a lot of money on dyeing your hair and getting touch-ups. Even if you don't go to the salon every month, frequently buying a box dye can still get expensive. You'll also be able to ditch all the pricey hair care products dyed hair requires. On top of saving a lot of money, you'll also save tons of time. Dyeing your hair can take hours or even a whole day, depending on your hair type. Gray hair isn't only practical, it also creates a stunning aesthetic. Some will have stripes of white that look like natural highlights. Others will get a total white hue that looks like platinum blonde. The toxic lead in hair dyes isn't only bad for your scalp, but it's also bad for the environment. Depending on the product you use, you could be using lead, mercury, coal tar, or formaldehyde, which are all bad for the planet. From Helen Mirren and Patti Smith to Andie MacDowell, there are plenty of celebrities rocking gray hair. And they all look beautiful. Going gray is always interesting because you'll discover your true hues. Some might have grays that look more metallic, while others might have a shiny salt and pepper mix. There are lots of approaches to converting to gray hair. For example, you can wait for it to grow out or cut it real short. You can also wear a wig in your dyed color until your gray has grown out. Or you can have a professional colorist camouflage the transitioning hair with lowlights as the gray grows in. There's a special bond and support between women who decide to go gray. They acknowledge the strength, autonomy, and beauty they see in each other. At the end of the day, dyeing your hair can cause a lot of stress. You may worry the color will come out wrong or that you're spending too much money. But by letting your hair go gray, all that disappears. When you stop coloring your hair dark and allow lighter gray shades to frame your face, it will naturally brighten your complexion. Going gray is hard. But you'll prove to yourself that can do it. And just like with anything tough, you'll feel proud that you overcame your fears. Going gray isn't scary. Instead, it's powerful, sensual, and sophisticated. On top of that, many women have reported that they're taken more seriously in the workplace after they reveal their gray. No matter what your skin color or tone is, the minute you introduce gray hair, cool tones will compliment you. One of the biggest lies you can tell yourself is that people hate gray hair. That's simply not true. You'll notice how a lot of people will compliment your gray hues. Unfortunately, we live in a society that worships youth and makes us afraid of aging. Being confident to rock your grays is a way to confront the reality of getting older and to fully embrace it. Those who dye their hair understand the struggle of dye stains. But once you stop, you'll no longer get that dark halo along your hairline that lingers for days after each dye. This is especially true for women who colored their hair in dark tones. By eliminating the use of dark dye, you'll instantly see a Benjamin Button effect. All thanks to your natural grays. At the end of the day, going gray doesn't have to be permanent, unless you want it to be. The beauty of it all is that you're in charge. So if you want to color it or not, it's all up to you. By the age of 30, or even earlier in some cases, most people are bound to have a few gray hairs. However, in our society, showing any sign of aging has been drilled as being something bad. But in the end, women should be proud of their gray hair. Just like years of experience and knowledge, gray hair also comes with age. And that's perfectly fine. Contrary to colored hair, gray hair is easy to maintain. You no longer need to plan any salon appointments around your vacations or special events to hide your grays. All you have to do is maintain your grays, invest in a great haircut, and use products that suit your hair texture. With fewer chemicals in your hair, you'll experience less hair loss once you go gray. You'll also notice that your hair will become stronger and shinier. It might sound a little sensational, but by going gray you'll inspire others to do the same. A lot of women cover their grays due to society telling them that it makes people look old and undesirable. In reality, they simply lack references that combat that stigma. Many women report that, after going gray, they don't need to wash their hair as often. Another major time saver. One of the best reasons to go gray is that everyone's gray pattern is different. Your gray hair will naturally look perfect on you. By going gray, it will completely change your perception of it. Many women report loving their gray locks once they grow them out. In the end, gray hair has always been the same, but the story you tell yourself is what changes. Hating on gray hair is a form of a body shaming. By being nicer to yourself, it will be easier to embrace your silver hues, which will make the shame fade away.